All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're fixing literally one of the most frustrating moments in all of Padel. If you play the game at any kind of competitive level, you absolutely know the sinking feeling. You work so hard to finally capture the net, only to feel the point just slip away in a split second.
It's the ultimate question, right? Picture this. You fought for the net, and boom, your opponent launches a deep, beautifully placed lob right over your head. What's the move? Now, if you've got a tennis background, or if you're just feeling super aggressive, you're probably itching to backpedal, jump up, and just smash the living daylights out of it. But, and this is a massive but, that is exactly the trap they want you to fall into.
Because here's the thing. If you treat that deep paddle lob like a tennis overhead, you're going to create this massive, juicy rebound right off the back glass. By absolutely crushing it, you're basically serving up a high-sitting, super easy counterattack directly to the other side. It's a free point. You literally did all the heavy lifting to take the net, and then, poof, you just handed it right back.
So how do we stop bleeding points and keep that net dominance? Well, here is our roadmap for mastering the ultimate defensive shield. We're going to cover the problem with deep lobs, meet the Bandeja, step-by-step technique, tactical placement, and finally, Bandeja versus Vibora. Let's get right into it. Starting with Section 1, the deep lob problem, which is really a structural challenge.
You see, unlike traditional tennis, where an overhead is basically an immediate point ender, a terminal weapon, the Padel environment is a whole different beast. That glass, it changes everything. In Padel, a deep lob is a structural challenge that requires a structural reset, not just raw, unadulterated power. Your main goal here is not to hit a winner outright. It's to neutralize their attack, kill the ball's upward bounce off the glass, and realistically, just buy yourself enough time to sprint back to the net.
Which brings us to Section 2. Meet the Bandeja, your new defensive shield.
Now, if you didn't know, Bandeja is actually Spanish for tray. I want you to imagine you are literally carrying a tray of expensive drinks right above your shoulder. You wouldn't just snap your wrist down and spill them everywhere, right? No, you'd keep it completely flat and stable. Keeping that racket face open creates a really controlled, slicing overhead. This shot is designed 100% for placement and stability, not aggression. It kind of sits in this sweet spot right between a full smash and a defensive lob, letting you slice the ball deep so it basically just dies on the back glass. If you're ever in doubt about what shot to pull out of the bag, look at this matrix. It perfectly explains why the Bandeja needs to be your default response for, I'd say, 70 to 80% of your overheads when you're scrambled out of position. Look, if the lob is short and high, sure, hit a flat smash and end it. If it's attackable, bust out the Vibora. But for the vast majority of those deep, fast lobs where you're desperately sprinting backward, the Bandeja is absolutely your safest, most reliable bet to reset the rally on your terms.
Moving on to Section 3, step-by-step technique. Let's master the actual mechanics.
Let's break down the kinetic chain here because it is entirely different from a standard smash. Step 1. The literal split second that lob goes up, turn your body sideways. Backpedaling while facing the net is going to absolutely ruin your spatial awareness. Step 2. Get that elbow up to shoulder height into that tray position. Fun fact, your prep should actually look exactly like a smash to fake out your opponents. Step 3. Read the lob early and make contact slightly in front of you. Think 1 o'clock. If you let it drop behind your head, you're just going to push it. And finally, Step 4, decelerate into what we call a compact scarf finish. You're slicing across the ball and finishing wrapping around your opposite hip, almost like you're tossing a scarf over your shoulder. I am absolutely obsessed with this coaching cue, carve, don't crush. It just hits the nail on the head. Remember, your power on a bandeja comes from timing and spin, not from swinging your arm out of its socket. You should really only be giving it about 60 to 70% of your full smash effort. So if you notice your bandejas keep sailing long or popping way up off the glass, dial it back, take some pace off, and let the slice do the heavy lifting.
Now, here's a cool nuance. Depending on what side of the court you play, top players will actually use two slightly different techniques. If you're on the right side, you generally have a bit less space, so you'll usually rely on a simpler chest technique. It feels almost like hitting a high forehand volley, where you just push through the ball cleanly. But if you're over on the left side taking a ball down the middle, you're going to use more of an arm technique. This is where you actually brush around the outside of the ball to crank up that side spin.
But hey, building this kind of muscle memory means you've got to watch out for some common blunders. Like we said, do not face the net while backing up. Don't hit it flat. You absolutely need that slice to kill the bounce. Don't go swinging at 100% power. But honestly, the most catastrophic mistake? Spectating. Whatever you do, do not just stand there admiring your handiwork. The stroke is only halfway done when the ball leaves your racket. The second half is instantly hauling yourself back forward so you don't lose the net.
All right, on to Section 4, Tactical Placement. Let's talk about maximizing net recovery. So, the whole tactical objective of the bandeja is buying yourself time to recover. Where do we aim? Well, if you target those deep corner windows, the backspin combined with the wall friction will make the ball drop straight down to the turf. That traps your opponents deep. Or you can aim straight down the center chute. This is brilliant because it creates massive visual confusion between the two defenders about whose ball it actually is. And lastly, if you do decide to put a little more heat on it, aim right at their feet. Force them to dig it out.
But here is a huge, match-losing error you need to avoid: hitting it straight back to wall number 4. Now, the walls are numbered across the back, right? Wall 4 is the glass squarely behind the player. Wall 5 is the dead center glass. If you hit your bandeja straight at wall 4, the defender literally doesn't have to move. They can just easily lob you right back, which is exactly what we're trying to prevent. Instead, aim for that 5th wall in the center. Make them actually move out of position to track it down.
Finally, Section 5, Bandeja versus Vibora. Let's see how your game can evolve once you've got the basics down.
You know, you'll hear the bandeja compared to the Vibora all the time, but they are completely different animals. While the bandeja is your safe, controlled, tactical shield relying on backspin and a flat face, the Vibora, which guys like Seven Nerone really put on the map, is an attack dog. It throws in this vicious wrist snap and side spin to aggressively attack off the glass, giving you this low, super unpredictable bounce. But listen to me on this, do not try to master the Vibora until your bandeja is rock solid. The beauty is, the prep for both looks totally identical to the guy across the net.
So how do we actually master the structural reset and bake it into our muscle memory? Honestly, don't even start on a court. Start off the court. Go stand in front of a mirror at home and just practice raising your arm into that tray position while stepping backwards sideways. Do it without even holding a racket at first. Once that flows, get on the court and just toss the ball up to yourself to dial in the contact point. Then graduate to ball machine reps. You should only be pulling this out in a live match after you've got hundreds of controlled, perfect reps under your belt.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought for today's explainer. The next time a deep lob goes up, what's it going to be? Are you going to panic, crush the ball, and hand over a free point? Or are you ready to carve out the perfect bandeja, sprint back to the net, and completely dominate the court? The choice is entirely up to you. Keep practicing that tray, and I will catch you in the next one.